Alright guys, I'm back here with this Manix 2 and Maxamet steel. Let's see if I can get that. Lighting's kind of weird right now. Yeah, there you go. Maxamet. I am super amped on this, guys. I'm absolutely loving this. I'm amazed with how sharp it is still. It's still really sharp, and I put it to the test. I mean, I've been using it all week. I've been breaking down boxes, using it on tape. You know, box tape, that packing tape is super, it just tears up knives. I mean, you want to have something that'll take down your knife really quickly. That stuff is, I mean, it's really bad for your knife edge. It's sticky, all that adhesive sticks other stuff, and you get sand and all kinds of stuff stuck in it, and it's always going to tear your knife edge up. So I've been cutting down a lot of boxes. I will be bringing in some footage of me breaking down a box, and also I did test this thing with some wood. First I used some pine and kind of got into that, a pretty hard pine 2x4, and I just started digging into that, and really no regard or no, I wasn't being careful or anything. I was just really just getting into it, just trying to take it, use it. I used it from back here, you know, doing some more fine, you know, cutting. And then I also went up into the choil. It felt good in both places. The ergos on this are excellent. I did find it really nice to use, and I'm really excited about this knife. What I'm doing this video on also is to see if after a week of use, if I can bring it back or get it even sharper than it was. You know, let me show you how sharp it still is. This is just regular printer paper. It's a little hard to get started. There's definitely some hang-ups. This isn't the best printer paper either. This is kind of wrinkled up and wet, but you can see it's definitely not as sharp as it was, but still pretty sharp. And I was getting into some harder woods. Like I said, I started with the pine, then I got into some wenge, which is a harder African wood, and then there was another wood that I got into after the wenge. That's some kind of South American hardwood, really dark, just like ebony or wenge. I'm not really sure what it is. So I really did put it to the test. As you saw earlier, I mean, here's some receipt paper. I don't think I'm gonna be able to, yeah. Still started at the right spot. It's still cut in receipt paper. It's definitely not gonna push cut, but I don't even think it was there when I first got it. Remember this paper, this recycled paper. You remember how it was cut in that? It's definitely got some hang-ups now. But, I mean, for how much I used it, that is absolutely amazing. I cannot believe how much this steel holds its edge. It's still really sharp. I would not be rubbing my finger across this edge at all. I mean, and that's amazing after how much cutting I did. I'm really amazed. After really getting into that wood, I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this edge. When I was doing the wood, I tried to show you. There was really no edge damage. I actually, after I cut the wood and went back and looked at it, I thought there was some chipping. What I thought was chipping was actually just that wenge and the other dark South American wood. They have like a color to them, and it left some nasty sap and color on the blade. It actually almost looked like rust, but it wasn't. It was just just the color of the wood. But yeah, that's how gnarly that wood is, and the edge seemed to hold up really well. This high hardness in this Maxamet, it seems to be tough enough for, you know, what you're gonna be doing. So I'm gonna strop it. I'm gonna use my normal stropping compounds, which I have my 3 micron Tormek compound, followed by the 25 green compound after that, and then chromium oxide, and then I have this 1/4 micron diamond to finish with. So I'm gonna see how sharp this thing can get just with some stropping, and not even with diamond necessarily compounds. So I'm gonna get into it, and I'll come back after. So I'm getting into this Tormek compound. Just been doing it for a few minutes now, and I can already tell, oh my gosh, it's back. I think even sharper than it was. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's pretty amazing. Yeah. And that was really quick with the Tormek compound. Let's see if I can push cut this. Wow. It's a little tougher. I'll show you on the printer paper, which we were having a little bit of trouble with earlier. I can definitely see if I can S-cut. Oh yeah. Some curly cues maybe. Oh yeah, it's curling. Pretty awesome. This Maxamet seems to really take to stropping well. So, I mean, I'm gonna keep stropping on this. I'm gonna go ahead and do this a little bit more, then go to the green compound, and then I'll come back to show you guys how sharp this thing can get after, you know, the 3 micron, the 0.5 micron, and then the 1/4 micron. I have some 1 micron diamond stropping compound that I just haven't gotten onto a strop yet, but that'll definitely add another level. Get a 1 micron in there to go between the 3 and that 1/4. I mean the 3 and the 1/2. So that'll really help. So I have now just stropped this through 3 micron to 0.5 micron to 1/4 micron, and it is screaming sharp. I mean, way sharper than the factory edge was when I got it. I mean, this is that recycled paper that I was saying was, hear how quiet that's going through? I mean, amazing. Not only that, but here's that other printer paper. It's screaming sharp. It actually, I did test it when I first got it. It wouldn't cut a free hanging hair. And now, again, I don't have the means to really show you guys this. I gotta get better angles and lighting to show you. Ooh, yeah. Totally. I mean, it almost won't even whittle. Oh, it's just popping the hair. Yeah, I mean, I'm just amazed with this steel. It's absolutely just, definitely the best steel I've ever come into contact with, but thus far. I'm gonna be eager to sharpen it. I've heard you gotta be careful with the burr on this stuff. You can't let it get too big, you know, too gnarly of a burr, or it will chip. But I don't notice any chipping in use, that's for sure. I was definitely twisting on that wood and not being gentle. So definitely impressed with this steel. And I really do love the Manix. And I'll do a follow-up review on the Manix too, just to let you guys know what I think about it. But you know, first impressions as far as, you know, a week of carrying it, it's definitely, for the size, it's light and it disappears in the pocket for how big it is. And I didn't notice it as much as I thought I would. And the size, as far as the blade size, I got used to it, and I think I'm getting more used to these larger blades and really just the functionality of it, and just being able to rip through boxes and not have to worry about the blade coming out, or just really having more cutting surface. And you're definitely going to be able to cut your apple in half with this sucker. And it's a super slicey blade. For those guys out there that want to know, I'll give you the, let me get my calipers and I'll let you know those. Alright, let's see what we are behind the edge. .024. That's like right behind the edge. .024. So 25 thousandths. 26 closer to the 25 closer to the belly. It's pretty consistent. Yeah, 26 right at the tip. So I'd say it's pretty consistent, like 25 to 27 thousandths. 25 to 27 thousandths, all, you know, right to the edge of the secondary bevel there, right behind that secondary bevel, which is, you know, that's pretty good. It's not amazing. It's not as, you know, there's better, but it's pretty good. And it's super slicey. I find it to slice through cardboard really well. And the crazy thing about the Maxamet is it's almost like it gets sharper. You notice that with the M4 a little bit too, but the Maxamet, wow. I'll go ahead and put the Maxamet, the description of the steel. I want to show you the elements in the steel, because Maxamet it's just packed with carbides, and it just kept getting sharper, and that's the vanadium and the tungsten, and I mean with 10% cobalt bringing it all together, and I mean 2% or 2.15% carbon. I mean, that's tons of carbon packed in there with it. But it's a relatively simple steel. I mean, we'll compare it here to HAP 40, which is very similar, but it has molybdenum, which is not in the Maxamet, but it's got a lot less carbon and a lot less, you know, tungsten and vanadium. So yeah, it's just packed with carbides. And then I showed the Spyderco elements as well, because it shows the manganese and the silicon, which are going to help with the degassing of the metal, and just helps with the strength and the structure of the matrix. So yeah, it's just amazing stuff, the Maxamet, and Spyderco seems to do it very well and at a high hardness. I just noticed this thing just kept cutting, just never slowed down. It's pretty amazing. Really impressed by Maxamet. It's amazing stuff, and I can't wait to keep using it. Can't wait to get a paramilitary, either the Para 2, or either the paramilitary 2 or the Para 3. Either way, I'm definitely gonna grab one of those, and anything else that comes out in it, really. I'm really impressed. And I've just been keeping it oiled. I'm not sure how well it's gonna take to corrosion, but I mean, I'm definitely not gonna chance it with this guy. I'm sure eventually I'll find out how good of a corrosion resistant steel it is, but for now, I'm not gonna test that. I'm just gonna keep it oiled. Alright guys, I'll be back. I have more stuff on the Manix 2 and the Maxamet. I also have a lot of new stuff coming out here. Hopefully this KME video I'll get out to you guys, but having some trouble with my getting it over from my editing. So yeah, but see you guys soon. Thanks, bye.